Christopher Nolan is one of the greatest filmmakers in modern Hollywood. Whether it's making a trilogy of films retelling a pop culture hero or making your head spin with perceptions of time, Nolan has certainly made his stake making well-made, mature, but mostly safe and accessible films. I expected this going into seeing his most recent film, Oppenheimer, the movie about the making of a world-changing weapon. However, the film was not what I was expecting it to be. Spoilers ahead if you have not seen Oppenheimer. Something I learned from Nolan's 2017 historical drama Dunkirk is that the director uses his audience knowledge of a historical event and turns it on itself, and makes a film whose pace, tone, and direction were not what was expected. He did this with this film. Oppenheimer is not a movie about making the atomic bomb. It is a character study of the scientist who designed the atomic bomb. Oppenheimer is a psychological analysis of the man who, along with his team, ended World War II, but forever changed warfare itself. It is then fortunate that I have figured out what the movie was and changed my perspective on it while watching it, so as not to have my viewing ruined by unsatisfied expectations. I caught Nolan's signature tactics of ambiguity. The greatest aspect of this film, without question, is the cast. Cillian Murphy gives an Oscar-worthy performance as the troubled yet determined J. Robert Oppenheimer. The film compares him to Titan Prometheus, a figure who gives mankind a great tool but at a dire cost. Oppenheimer, from his days as a student, sees visions of the quantum realm, the universe, as well as other things. The movie is full of hallucination scenes where we see how the Doctor is haunted by what is and what has come. This is a good time to bring up my criticisms, the first being how Nolan chose to portray certain aspects of the story. I'm aware that the film is based on a book about Oppenheimer, but I think Nolan made some filming decisions that I'm opposed to. The example is when Oppenheimer is explaining to the private board about the last days of his affair with Jean Tatlock, and all of a sudden we are inside Oppenheimer's wife's head and we see her hallucination. The entire film is from the perspective of Oppenheimer, and strangely we shift perspectives for a quick time, and then we're right back to being inside the scientist's head again. Just one of the scenes that should have been done differently or cut entirely. Besides those occasional mess-ups, the film did not have to be 3 hours. It should have been 2 hours and a half. I say this because, since most of the movie is talking, though it's done very well, it ended up being the longest 3-hour-long movie I've ever seen. Oppenheimer, being rated R and a psychological biopic, is therefore a film for a certain group in its audience. I, for one, am surprised at just how many people are praising and recommending it, as it is perhaps Nolan's most niche product. So far, I would say most people are overhyping the film. It is not Nolan's best film to date. I have my criticisms for sure, but the performances from the lead and co-stars, imagery, story, music, and mostly the way it was filmed leave the biopic in a good place in my mind. I certainly will watch it again, but for now, Oppenheimer has a solid 7.5 out of 10. Hello everyone, this is Movies with Michael, and if you enjoyed that movie review, you can show it by leaving a like on this video, commenting down below what you thought about the movie, whether you loved it, whether you hated it, or was it right there in between, and consider clicking that subscribe button and turning on notifications to get notified about my latest videos.